Hey guys, I got to get this out. Super quick update. Generative AI wars. Gemini 2.5 experimental is still the clear leader despite the drop of Llama 4 and GPT 4.0, a specific version of that over the last few weeks. Remember on this channel, I made a video when Gemini 2.5 dropped. It had the single largest margin increase ever seen on the LLM arena. Ever since the debut of that format. And even now, though we've had two iterative cycles come out from Meta and OpenAI, it is still sitting with a comfortable lead at top of the charts. This is significant, especially because some people didn't like what Meta did. They trained a specific version of Llama for FOR, this test. They were open with it up front. They did not try to hide it, but some people did not like the idea that they did that. What does that mean? It means that they went in the test for this LLM arena. They trained a model of Llama specifically to do well on this test. It's not like a test that you would use in general. So a lot of people didn't like that. I don't think it's really here or there. It's a little bit gimmicky. However, I would see why you would do it because these kind of things are important. They gather a lot of headlines, they gather a lot of news. Unfortunately for Meta right now, it's getting a lot of bad news. Now, what does this all mean? It goes back to my thesis of what I said, where if Google, and actually you could say if Meta, if DeepSeek, but really it comes down to Alphabet. I'll explain why in a second. But if Alphabet is at the top or at least keeping pace with the best generative AIs, then we know 100% that generative AI will be commoditized, and this does not bode well for OpenAI and XAI. And I do believe that just recently we have noted that Elon has seen the writing on the wall because he is consolidating his companies. He's going ahead. He's having OpenAI. I actually thought it was kind of a funny tweet from Elon where he has a picture of him shaking hands with him, and then somebody else who's watching the deal, and it's also him. But he's just, hey, here's my financial manipulations out in the open, my financial crimes. They're not crimes, but it is definitely hardcore manipulation. He had XAI buy X, Twitter, and I guarantee you, okay, my prediction is that this summer he is going to go to the board of Tesla and he's going to ask them to bail out both of those companies because he knows that neither of those companies are profitable, and he has to make good to his investors. He has some very important investors, including the prince from Saudi Arabia, right? And these are people that you do not want to go south on with your investment. So for sure, you mark my words, I'm almost willing. I wonder if they got a betting market open for this, that Elon Musk will be bailing out, i.e. purchasing XAI this summer, and XAI and thus X through Tesla. He'll go to the board, he'll say, hey, they're worth $120 billion. And the board will say, let's put it up for a vote. And of course, Tesla's fanboys will say, more, take more of our money for nothing. And but it doesn't matter. It doesn't bode well no matter what, because XAI, as Elon can see now, it has no path to success. Okay, so if Google wins, remember, Google wrote the paper on this. They wrote the paper on Transformers. If they win, or if they're just close to the top, they don't even have to win, okay? Then generative AI is going to be commoditized. It's going to be a add-on to a $20 package where you get Google Drive, you get Google Photos, you get all these other googly things. It's going to be an add-on to Amazon Prime. It's going to be an add-on to Apple Plus or whatever they do, okay? It's just going to be an add-on. It's not going to be what Sam Altman thinks, and you're going to pay $20,000 a month for a professional version, or people are going to pay $200 a month or something like that. Only the fanboys, and of course, yes, you're always going to have the fanboys and the fangirls. They're always going to do this stuff, but they're not going to be enough of a tipping point to fuel these companies. They're not going to generate the kind of dollars they will. And again, Google shows no signs. Alphabet shows absolutely no signs of slowing down. The largest leap on the boards right now belongs to them. And they're still ahead by like 15 points, which is a sizable margin. Absolutely a huge margin, despite two newer iterations of AI coming out, generative AI. And so you're talking about a company that they have all the elements. They have their own cloud, right? So they can invest in this infrastructure, but unlike Meta, it's not 100% CapEx. Why do I say that? Well, their CapEx is getting a direct return because they take this hardware and then they go and they rent it out to somebody else, okay, in the cloud. Two, they have their own GPUs. They're actually called TPUs, right? We've talked about this many times on the channel. The Tensor, okay? And so from what Google says right now, all of their AIs are not being trained on Blackwells. They're being trained on Google's own Tensor 5e and 6.0 chips. They're training, and for all of their search queries, for everything. All they're doing is utilizing their own chips. And the next thing that you can note is that in Google search, where it's already commoditized, the results are getting better. So people are like, oh, look at how terrible Google's AI is. Here's Google search. Understand they put the minimal amount of effort into that. It's a free search that's open to billions of people, okay? It gets used tens of billions of times a day. So obviously they weren't putting maximum resources into it. But if you look at what their plan is now, they are able to run these queries cheaper and faster, and they're getting better results there in Google search. So understand, when you're using Google search, you are not getting the full version of Gemini. Of course not. I mean, like, even they can't offer that yet, that quick, that fast, that cheap. But they are going to get there. I am telling you, they are going to get there. And if they can achieve that, which I think they absolutely will, then it's all over. It's commoditized 100%. Okay, and what does that mean? Well, it means that Sam Altman and Elon Musk and all the other carnival barkers are going to have a problem lying to the public about generating funds off of AI, because they're not going to be able to. Okay, so Google will lead the way in that, but of course, you know, Sam Altman and Elon especially will pivot. He will go to, and again, this is something you can mark down. I know he's going to do this. Elon is going to say he invented the quantum computer. He's going to enter, you know, quantum X, and I invented a quantum computer, and every single fanboy, all of a sudden, the chip in their brain is going to be taken out. They're going to get the Elon invented quantum computing. You watch, 100% mark it down. It will happen within the next 5 years. Elon's going to have invented quantum computing, according to all the fanboys. But of course, you know that's the next space he's going to go into. So after the robots fail him, after AI fails him, he's going to have to come up with a new hype cycle, a new promise, a new speculative thing to keep the fanboys happy, and that's what it will be. So because right now, generative AI is not going to work for him. Absolutely not. There's nothing there. It's dead. Google, Alphabet has won. That's all I got for you this morning. Have a great day.